Well, hey everybody, this is Chris DiFirio with Keys to the Shop. Welcome to another edition of Shift Break. Today's episode is brought to you by La Marzocco. They've been making espresso machines by hand in Florence since 1927. I would really encourage you to go to lamarzocco.usa.com to learn more about all that they do in creating some of the most beautiful, innovative, and dependable espresso machines on the market. You know, the heartbeat of your business, the heart is the equipment that allows you to create espresso. And so you want to make sure that you're going with a company that has a proven track record of serving its customers well and innovating toward better functionality, better ergonomics, the right kind of technological advancements, and everything in between. Now, you can come see the latest La Marzocco technology at their booth featuring the Innovation Gallery on tour. They're showcasing the Strata X, the new Linea Mini, Wally Milk, and the Sync system, and much more. And you can have coffee at the True Artisan Cafe there at the SCA show coming up soon, actually next week in April. So if you're heading to the SCA in Chicago, definitely stop by the La Marzocco booth. And if you are looking for the best espresso machine for your cafe, then you need to email info@lamarzocco.usa.com. Talk to a salesperson. They'll help you select the right equipment for your cafe. Whether you're just starting out or you're scaling and opening more locations, they are a great partner to have. Again, lamarzocco.usa.com. Today's episode is also brought to you by Rattleware, rattleware.com. So Rattleware has been around for quite a bit. And one of the reasons that I love them is that they just create smallwares that work. Functional, dependable, working in the background of your business to keep things together. You know, when something small is not working right, it is a big deal. Like a dust thing that flies in your eye. It's small, but it kind of ruins your day, right? When a shot glass doesn't work, when a pitcher doesn't work, or something like that, you just kind of like, why? Well, with Rattleware, that is something that drives them. They don't want that to be said with the things that they create. So if you're looking for whisks and pitchers and shot glasses and everywhere in between, knock boxes, smallwares that are a big deal in your cafe, go to rattleware.com and check out what they have to offer and get your cafe more functional with things that are just designed to work. Again, that's over at rattleware.com. Okay, everyone. Well, today I wanted to talk to you about something that I think is very important for cafe owners. And this came up as a point of conversation in one of our most recent meetings of the Keyholder Coaching Group. This is a collection of coffee shop owners from all over that come together to help each other succeed in the various phases of where they are in their businesses. It's so wonderful. Great conversations that happen. And by the way, our next cohort for this is going to be opening up. So if you want to tune into that, you can always reach out to me, see if you're interested. But I wanted to get to this point here today, which was the idea of letting go of where your business was in order to bring your business where it needs to be. If we're talking about pure pragmatism, it works in your mind. You're like, yes, I need to delegate more. I need to create more structure and SOPs and checklists and increased training and all. You know, you can go down the list of things that you need to do. That's good. Yes, we give assent mentally to these things. But what holds us back? What makes it so that an owner will give authority to somebody, but then, take it back? They'll take it back. That was the sound of somebody taking something back. And it just confuses everybody. The reason is it's psychological, it's emotional, it's a journey of identity, not just for the brand, but for the person. Because for the most part, when you start a coffee shop, it is you. It is your people. Because for the most part, when you start a coffee shop, it is you. You do the milk run, you clean, you greet, you make coffee, you do the taxes, you sweep the floor, clean the toilet. All that stuff is you. And eventually what happens is other people start doing those things. But then you say, well, what do I do? And this is why we have always talked about having an owner's job description. An owner's job description as in like the same way you would do for a barista. And it identifies your greatest contributions to the business, not just the things you want to do because it makes you feel nice. like a vanity shift where you want to pour cappuccinos. My business, I can do what I want. I want to pour cappuccinos, but you're not as good as your baristas. And actually, what you're doing is you're providing worse service for your for your customers. Okay, it's what you need to do and what you are best at doing. That's kind of the meeting point for your highest contribution in the business. And that's what a job description for the owner is going to be. Hopefully, a lot in the sweet spot there. But you need to be able to let go of that phase. And I talked about this because I host these groups, right? I'm contributing a lot of thoughts and we're facilitating these key holder coaching groups at Keys to the Shop. And I talked about how, I'm a very nostalgic person. I hang on to things. I have things that, like, if my wife is throwing something out from my son's 3 or 4 year old clothing collection or something, which may still be around in the house somewhere, I'm like, wait, wait, wait. Let me see what you're throwing out. Because there's something that I've attached meaning to that I don't want to let go of. And I'll snatch like a shirt or something. And I have a hard time letting go sometimes. I will fully admit that. Now, that's a strength in some ways because I think it helps me recognize the specialness of a moment, but it also can be stifling because it doesn't allow me to give my full attention to what the present is because I'm ruminating on the past. And if rumination on the past in your business looks like you not giving your full attention and energy to the current needs of the business, then you're going to inherit a lot of problems because you haven't let go. That doesn't mean that you need to forget. Don't get me wrong. Rumination is not the same as reflection. Reflection is remembering and taking from and adding to what is present that value of that remembrance. So that happens with good things that happen in your business from the first year and the problems that you come up with in the first year. And it all fits into how you approach your opportunities and great things about your business and bad things about your business now. So you can't let nostalgia or where you based your security as an operator in the frenzy and the rush of it all, that you have to change the way that you draw energy and joy from the business, just almost the same way as you do in the different phases of your relationships, because it is emotional. And I want to enjoy my son at 10 years old. And I also remember him at 3 and 4 and 5. But I would be doing him a disservice at this age to let every other age of the business start to become this framework through which I judged his current age and said, oh, hey, he's 10 years old. I miss when he was 5. Oh, what a good age. And then inadvertently, I start to live in the past and ignore the present and set him up for failure because he needs me. Your business needs you to be able to put the past of your business and your involvement in the business in the right place so that you can get progressively better and be who you are now in the maximal way. So this idea of letting go is a matter of deciding. And I'm not familiar exactly with the breakdown of this word, but I know decision is a word that basically comes from the idea of severing, to cut off all other opportunities and possibilities. So once you decide, for example, to set a manager in place in your cafe so that it can free you up to pursue other things that your business needs you to pursue, you might start to get this idea that you're abandoning the business. And that idea oftentimes is born from a way that you can reason yourself back into the responsibility that you use as a comforting element. It's new, it's uncharted territory. To delegate that kind of authority to people, you worry, everything else. But that new normal will start to become more familiar, and you'll start to wonder why you ever worried about it if you make a decision to do so. And so, as we talk about these things collectively as a group, and I see this happening all over the place, not just in these groups, but on my talking at Coffee Fest with people or just in my own life. And I think we know this is true in lots of different ways with our relationships, the way we relate to our siblings, our parents, or how we relate to our significant others, etc. Things just kind of evolve, and we have to allow that. So, if you're in a place right now where you know your business is entering a phase where it needs different things from you, and sometimes that means it needs more of other people and less of you. And that can feel insulting, feel hard to admit, but you aren't losing anything. You still have those experiences, and you might be shooting yourself in the foot by hanging on too long. It can get awkward. If you stay past a certain point and say, okay, well, I want to do this. I feel good doing this. And I know, somewhere in my head that other people might be able to do it better, or the business needs this, but you just can't cross that bridge. I would encourage you, do your due diligence, study, know what's necessary for your business. Okay. But at the end of the day, you do need to make a decision, and it's going to be okay. As long as you make this decision with the idea that you're going to invest yourself fully into loving your people well, into giving yourself and them grace in the process, and serve the needs of this business as it becomes more than you. It becomes itself. It's starting to take on its own personality, and it needs you to allow it to grow for its sake and not to stifle its growth just for your sake. So that's kind of deep stuff, I guess, for a shift break. Maybe not. Maybe this is, par for the course, but I'm really interested in what you're thinking about this. And you can always email me, chris@keystotheshop.com. And if you ever need coaching or advice around these things, this is a common conversation amongst other things that I have with my clients as they go through different phases of their business. It is personal, it's emotional, it's professional, it's all of these things kind of wrapped up. And conversation really helps. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, then email chris@keystotheshop.com. Happy to talk with you. And thank you very much, everyone. I appreciate you all. And as always, I will see you here next week on another edition of Shift Break, from Keys to the Shop.